Yo, what's going on, everybody?
Welcome, Thinking Game Podcast.
Number 35.
35. We're getting up there.
The topic for this podcast is realistic and unrealistic thinking thoughts. Like we talk about detailed thinking. But before we get into that, we want to talk about, is it here for a week or is it a week and a half?
I think it's 2 weekends. You know what I mean?
So Arkansas State Fair. That's what we want. We're gonna talk about our memories growing up in Southwest and being teens and going to the fair.
I know this seems country to a lot of y'all. Arkansas State Fair. Just a good.
Woo! Hold it.
I tell you what. All right, cows.
But I tell you what. When did you start going to the fair without your family, like just hanging out with the guys? When you start, I know I used to go with Terrence now. I think we was in high school.
Yeah, it had to be maybe late in high school. You know, maybe no, maybe about 10th, 11th grade.
Yeah, shout out to Terrence, Quake, Mario. Oh man, we used to do some crazy stuff,
Good old
bro.
boy.
We used to do some crazy stuff, bro. We used to. The kids do not try this. They probably won't even let you do this no more. Don't do it. Please don't try this.
Bedtime.
We used to park at Sunset Apartments. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
Right across from the fair, right? The backside. Wasn't that many people back there. We found out, and see this detailed thinking, right? Why would we pay $12 to go into the fair, right?
Yeah, it was $12 back then, right?
When the gate, the tension wire was missing on the bottom of the gate. Only kind of mind probably would notice that. It's like, oh, we can lift up the gate and just roll up under the gate and walk like we parked back there.
Now these guys wearing polo boots, jeans.
Yeah,
you know.
You just hope it wasn't muddy that day. You just roll up. Yeah.
Somebody
hold the gate up and you roll up under it and drop it. Everybody in there now. You know what I'm saying?
The good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. Then the money, just everything cost. Like, I can't imagine with inflation now.
Oh yeah,
corn dogs and stuff like that. How much it costs now?
$10 for a funnel cake. Funnel cake. I said it incorrectly, but $10 for a funnel cake. $30 for a turkey leg. Just you gotta get
30. It's 30 for a turkey leg.
I don't think
25. I don't know.
20,
I won't find that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't got too old. Like I didn't. My kids went. When I should have went. I didn't have the time to take off to go with them. But I know the food though. Pretty good, depending on what you got. I used to get the pork chop, maybe corn dog or something like that. But
corn dog.
I'm trying to eat more healthier though, man. When you get old, you
no fried Oreos for you.
I don't eat fried Oreos, man.
You eat regular Oreos?
Yeah, but I don't want it fried though.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, well, that's the rabbit hole.
Chocolate covered bacon.
After you go fried Oreo, what do you go after that? Chocolate covered bacon. I mean, that's a rabbit hole. Once you go there, I mean, you just keep
going. In Alice in Wonderland now,
man.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
I don't ride rides no more.
Man, I tried to. My equilibrium kind of got messed up. I was like, man, it took me like 10 minutes to get my balance right.
Did you ever take a girl on a date when you was younger? Did you ever take a girl on a date to the fair?
To the fair? No, the whole city's there. Like, you can't do that.
It's like taking sand to the beach.
I
was too cheap. I didn't want to do that.
Girl,
expectations too high. It get unrealistic if I take a girl to the fair when I was in my 20s. You're like, you want me to buy you what?
They want you to do.
You want me to buy you a funnel cake? And you better eat every bit of it.
No, you ain't eating the whole funnel cake.
All of it. If I buy it, you're going to eat all of it. Every
you
drop.
You asked me for stuff you didn't ask your daddy for. You know what I mean?
Boy.
No, that
we had a homeboy one time. We was at McClellan, right? He took this girl to the fair. And they waited. She waited till she got to the fair and said, I left my money at home.
Well, we got to go back.
Yeah. Or you finna go home.
Well, you stay right outside the gate but you as a gentleman, you know.
Then that's when the game started. Let's make a deal.
No. Well, we're going to take that nice young lady and we're going to show her a good time at the Arkansas State Fair. You know
well, this is in my 20s. I didn't think, man, that was...
we're going to be gentlemen. We're going to show her a good time. That's what we're going to do.
But yeah, comment, let us know. Your fair memories of going to the state fair and stuff like that.
like people will hold you accountable. Like, didn't you take that girl Tasha to the fair at in 12th grade? We 30 years old. Like, like why
I'm
you still
40.
remember?
Yeah, I'm
like,
39,
I mean,
I'm
just
yeah.
like
people do remember stuff like that though.
Yeah, it's like, man, that's like 25 years ago.
Man.
And then it's like sometimes the last day of school mentality at the fair. You know what I mean? Because every high school in the city would go to the fair like on that first weekend. You know what I mean? And these are people that don't see each other. The West Side, the East Side.
You got to think about the 90s too. You remember that?
It's the 90s. So
gang
everybody from every neighborhood went to the fair.
Boy, you don't want to be in the middle when they beating up.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Everybody had their colors on, and it was just...
and definitely wasn't like Michael Jackson beat it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They was made up in the warehouse. A little bit more physical than that.
Yes, sir. So you often always have to deal with that. You know what I mean? Even now.
I seen the Twitter, though. They got drones flying over the fair now.
Yeah, so go out. There's some more security. You know what I mean? If they don't catch them...
They lucky now. You know, back in the day, they used to tell us, we used to go to Dunbar, the older dudes, they used to say that they had a trailer at the fair. And you want to act up, they take you back to the trailer, ask you a couple questions.
Talk to the phone booth. You know
drop you off in the wrong neighborhood. If you from this neighborhood, drop you off. You from neighborhood A, they drop you off in neighborhood B. Let's see if you can make it home. Let's play a game. Let's see if you can make it home.
Fun times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The police are creative. They were creative.
Yeah.
So you have that. So you know what I mean? Take your kids maybe in the daytime.
Yeah, definitely.
And in Arkansas, you know, I always know the fair's coming because it's gonna start getting cold.
October, yep.
Every time.
Every time.
That first rain, the fair, and the cooler temperature.
Back to our regularly scheduled program. We just wanted to do some fair memories of the fair.
Good times.
This podcast is dealing with realistic, unrealistic expectations, thoughts, thinking. We're gonna break it down So, first thing we're gonna talk about is realistic. We don't look at it as judging, but most people try to use this. You come in and let us know what you think about this. When somebody say, "Don't judge me," what does that mean?
To me, it means I always see it as an excuse for behavior. You know what I mean? You did something, and you don't want to be judged.
Like
you
a
don't
deflection?
You don't want to face maybe the consequences of what you did, so you don't want judgment. You want a carefree, guilt-free pass on what you may be done.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because realistically, you use your judgment and you judge everything you see.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whether you want to invest your time, money, or be around this person, way this organization moves.
So is it fair to say that some people probably don't do that? And they probably think, why am I? When somebody say, why am I in this position sometimes? Or they keep going in circles and you say, well, maybe you should try something different. Like, what are you talking about? Don't judge me. You know, they'll say something like that.
Yeah, like they're responsible for their actions or they're responsible for their outcomes. And that's
when they deflect you. And when you say you're responsible for your actions, that's when they deflect you.
Yeah, you're judging me because I didn't go to college or you know what I mean, I went to prison. No, I mean, we're just talking about your, maybe your, outcome, or we're trying to, help, or, right. I think sometimes people use that as a deflection of accountability.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Because a lot of times, even if they know you experienced it, it's just like for us, right? If we tell a young guy, hey, it's not good to chase girls, man. For a long term, it's not going to be good for you. Man, what you talking about, man? Why you judging me for? I'm not judging you. I'm telling you from experience. It's probably not going to be a good thing, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be productive. Because the thing is, when you're focused on that, what are you taking your focus off of now? You know what I'm saying? And what is that going to profit you in the long run?
Yeah, I mean,
because it's going to take away.
Yeah, from something. It's good to have leisure activities. We're not telling you not to have fun, to date, you know what I mean? But you have to be balanced and accountable for your time, and your goals. Your goals are your responsibility ultimately.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you from a place of experience. You need to think about what you want to do with your leisure time, and think about dating. We talk about this all the time. Dating is, everybody has their own definition of what dating is, but what you can't deny is the results. Yeah. And that's the thing about people say don't judge me. No, the results speak for themselves. That goes for everybody. It even goes for us. We talking from a place people that messed up. I know I done messed up plenty of times, you know. It was the next thing we think about, is it realistic to live in a world without judgment?
Maybe not negative judgment. You can keep hate speech or negativity or criticism out of it, but we use our judgment, everything. You know,
that's
what I mean?
The thing.
We use
like,
our best judgment.
Who determines what hate speech is? That's the thing. See, when we talk about, people don't realize, when you talk about judgment, when you go into court, you do something crazy, you go into court, and the judge says, I'm going to give you 15, that's a judgment. You know what I'm saying? That's when you're getting judged. You in there getting judged by 6, you know what I'm saying? No, you judged by 12. Yeah, you get judged by 12, not by 6. You get carried by 6. Yeah, you get judged by 12. But that's when you get judged. But somebody saying, you know, don't do this.
But people are, you know, I'm hold you. People think opinions are judgments.
Right.
Like, so when people say don't judge me, they are often, don't have a negative opinion of what I'm doing or negative thoughts of what I'm doing. Don't hold that against me, what I've done. So the judgment, like in the court or versus like, you know, public opinion, you know what I mean, is a little bit different. You know what I mean? People like positive criticism, like if you negatively criticize them or have a negative opinion, some stuff is really like legally considered hate speech, and then other things, you know what I mean, people just feel what you're doing is negative.
And see, we grew up in Southwest. We've seen a lot of people do a lot of things. We know a lot of people did. We don't judge or hold that against them. With that being said, it's still, you know, they're talking about peer pressure and all these things growing up. You have to put distance though. Like, I can't put myself in a position where I can allow myself to be in a position to be judged in court.
Yes. So
I'm not judging you. If that's what you want to rob banks, that's what you want to do. That's how we had to think, y'all, growing up in Southwest. You want to rob banks? You rob banks. Do it over there. I'm not doing it. You know, I'm not judging you. I don't got nothing against you. That's what you want to do. I don't want to do that. I'm good.
So basically, through your actions, I'm gonna move accordingly.
Exactly.
I don't want to, like, the things you done could end up you in jail, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't want to be an accomplice.
Right.
I don't want to be caught with you and you dirty. You got,
right.
you know, you got a gun on you. You got drugs. You riding in my car. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna minimize my risk.
Right.
And maybe, you know, not hang around you as much, or
right.
not being around you, you know, when you drink or when you smoke or when you get disrespectful. It's a self-preservation thing for me.
Here's a scenario too, right? When you know people, this one thing we grew up with, I know I definitely, when you know people for who they are without judgment, but I know, let's say I know Billy Joe like to go and start beefs in different neighborhoods. That's his thing. He like to go start beefs. He like to kick up static. He always beefing with somebody. Billy Joe asked me, hey man, can you take me to Walmart? Probably not gonna happen. I'm not judging him. That's what he like to do.
Man, you judge me off my past, man. I don't do that no more.
But taking him to Walmart, somebody might see him. Oh, that's Billy Joe. I got to get him. If he riding in your car, they don't care about that. They want Billy Joe. And then you get hit. That kind of stuff happen all the time. Yeah. You just with the person.
You gotta,
you know what I'm saying?
You got to use your best judgment to, you know what I mean, to protect yourself.
And sometimes it's better to overthink and be wrong than be right and be in the wrong situation.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That happens all the time. But sometimes you got to make tough decisions like that. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? We can't roll together because it's too much of a risk. You got to be able to judge the risk involved.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, you got to use judgment. A job with a high turnover. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
a daycare with a bad history. You're not judging them, but I want to decrease the risk of my kid getting injured or hurt.
Right.
You're hiring a nanny. In the past, they got a sex offender charge.
Right.
I know you changed your life.
Right.
But I'm not. I can't take that chance with my child. I'm not judging you, but I'm moving accordingly to the information I know. Right. It's like a credit report, right? Mm-hmm. You did these things and you're marking your credit. I'm pretty sure you're going to make payments and you're a good person now.
Right.
But I can't, take the chance with my reputation for my child.
But I think I made a video about it. People being afraid to grow, right?
Yes, sir.
What's the next level for you? Oh, what you mean, man? You think what's wrong with what? What's the next level for you? You have to grow. Like, you can't stay the same. You have to have growth. You have to. But some people, they just say, I don't ever want to change. I'm just going to be the same person. Same people, OG. They just want to be like Genuine. Same
but
OG.
See, the thing is, the people don't realize, in an ever-changing environment, it takes effort to stay the same.
It does.
To stay, like, basically, it's harder to use a flip phone now.
Yeah.
If you wanted to stay back in the 90s and use that technology, it's hard. You're going to have to look for more places to get to feel those old habits.
Right.
So, gradual change is natural, and it's sometimes easier.
Right.
You're fighting the same effort you use to fight change. It will take less effort to gotta go with it and grow.
Right.
Gradual, grow at your own pace. Even if it's a snail pace, growth is better. And sometimes it's easier to grow. And people will say, growth is so hard thing, man. I don't want to change and this and that. Man, sometimes change is so much easier. I've worked with people. I don't want to learn a new system, and this hard, and it's gonna be this. And they learn the new system. The system was easy to learn. It's more user friendly, and they look at me like, man, it was easy, man. I should have did that a long time ago, or I did or whatever. Air fryers. I don't like air fryers because I'm an old school person. Give me my Foreman grill, my cast iron skillet. Maybe what if you're making just French fries? You know what I mean? And then this air fryer thing was pretty good. Come on.
Our next question: how do you determine something without judgment?
Whether that be like moral judgment, how you personally believe things should be, or just practical judgment, like is this safe? You know what I mean? Is it legal?
Because not everybody believe in the Bible. I believe in the Bible, but not everybody believe in the Bible. And there's some people factor stuff in, like say growing up in Southwest again, right?
Yeah,
the streets factor into your judgment, street rules. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you can also have morals without maybe a Christian background. You know what I mean? But it's where you're coming from, like you say, environmental.
Yeah. Yeah, morals just word, but the biblical morals could be different, right?
Yeah,
you stack on top of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So there'd be street morals, right?
Exactly. It's different moral code. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like corporate, we talked about codes. You know what I mean? In earlier episodes.
Yeah.
Can determine where you stand. You know what I mean? How you believe things or your values.
And when we talk about like change, we're just talking about change, right? If you don't change, like inflation comes and you don't change, and you still there, you won't be able to get your head above water because inflation. And we're going to show you right now. So, think about this, right? 311 customer service representative. This is for the city, right? Government, city of Little Rock. Is somebody probably making that 27,516 a year? The max for this position is 42,375. If you can get there, it's like play a game.
Yeah.
How long will it take you to get to the max? And we only get, 25 or 50 cent raise.
Yeah.
Starting at 27,000.
Yeah, I mean, it was that W salary you can make. Is that the light at the end of the terminal? You can.
I mean, that's the max you can make in that position.
It's possible.
like this one, it's a lead. You start off at 34. Dude, that man, 34 now is insane. I want to see how much that is. 34, just 34,000. Well, I just put 35 because they say 34.9, right? Okay, hold on.
And you got to think about you're doing stuff like, you and your family go out, the KFC or the pizza buffet every Sunday or whatever like that. It used to be $20. You know what I mean? Now, your whole family eat some pizza. Now it's like $50.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Oh, well, the kids want some ice cream at the new shop. Well, it's $50 for my ice cream. You know what I mean? So
this one says 35,000, 40 hours a week. That means you making about $16 an hour, $29.17 per month, $673 per week, $1,346 per 2 weeks, $1,300 per 2 weeks. This is not including insurance.
Yeah, I mean, you can take that 900 off, like off the top, bare, like maybe for.
You said 900.
Like you can take, like, you know what I mean. You just see that too. Just don't count that extra 9 right there. Just bloop, pop that off, and then add your insurance.
I got my calculator, man.
So that's looking real close to 15 to 1,700 a month.
Easy, 15, 7. No, that's my per 2 weeks. You take away.
No, but I was looking at the monthly.
Oh,
per month, 2,9, 17. You know what I mean? You can take that whole 900 and just throw that away. That's per month.
Right.
So basically, you make about $1,000 a week.
I hate that. I'm gonna do it right next to it. That's true.
And then it was like, maybe taxes, insurance. Like, man, that's looking like 800.
I like Windows, man. I can have it right on top of it. Come on, man. 1,346. What's the average insurance?
I don't.
Say if you family plan, right? Is it at least 500?
Low ball? Yeah.
846. That's just health insurance. Now you got 846 left.
Oh, you talking about every 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, your insurance come out every 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, I mean, okay.
Yeah. And we ain't got vision yet.
Well, the vision for it's yeah.
I mean, you could be looking at another $25.
Yeah, just.
But with a vision and dental.
Yeah, so just
Just do 30. I just do 30. I'll be generous. I do 30. Say 116. It's apartments that cost more than that. And we ain't got the utilities. We talking about.
But no, we're not talking about your paycheck yet. You haven't got this paycheck. Like, you did insurance, right?
Yeah, the pre-tax.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you talking about bills. We haven't got to your check yet.
Yeah. And you have to understand that the times have changed. Like, if these kind of jobs are going to be tough unless you're living on the prairie. You just know how to really make things work. I mean, you're going to be really going to the grocery store. You're going to be going to the produce section. You're really going to be buying, like, corn out the ground, like, with the husk still on it, cooking it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Finding deals on groceries, like the Pick 5 and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the thing is, like...
And that's going up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that ain't nothing wrong with,
Pick 5, nothing wrong with that.
Or eating organic or whatever. The thing is... But you have a choice. You know what I mean? It's other people out. You making this kind of money, but it's other people, man. On the internet, making plates or anything like that. And they're making, tons of money. You know what I mean? They're spending $10 and $20 on a cup of coffee every day.
Right.
And only thing you can afford is Hamburger Helper. You're the same person. We're all humans.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What I would say is at what point, because I've been there. I worked at Red Cross, and I probably was making that when I was in my 20s. At what point do you say, okay, this definitely is not the long-term solution? when do you make that call and say, I need to really start leveling myself up so I can make better moves long-term? Because living like that for the next 20 years, you only got 800, and that's just insurance. We ain't even got taxes. We haven't got nothing. You probably looking at about, you think about 700 probably when it's all done?
Yeah.
About $700 to bring home. And you've been there for 40 hours a week, and you probably going to work because they're probably going to be micromanaging you, and you bring home $700 every 2 weeks.
And your earning potential really doesn't go up.
No.
Unless you, like, with age. You know what I mean? Unless you get those skills and the experience and you sell yourself in that. You know what I mean? Some jobs, they go up in pay, but they're not going to tell you, hey, we increased the minimum pay for your job. You know what I mean? So you don't have to pay that. You got to move around, be a little bit more selfish with your skills, your time, and invest.
And see, this is the thing when I was talking about change, right? A lot of people say, I don't want to change. Think about this. A manager, the service center manager, $49,000, that's starting out. You got to be a manager just to get to something that's like, you can start getting a little bit of flexibility. And a lot of people say, I don't want to be no manager. I just want to be a regular worker. I don't want to do that. $49,000, and that's 76. Man, you can get there. I doubt it. Working for the city, I think that just looks good for the pay scale. But I mean, unless you got pull or something, I guess they know you got the experience. You can get in the 55 to 60 range if you got the experience, maybe.
Yeah, ain't people.
But you never start on the top end. I ain't never heard nobody starting on the top end.
But you gotta sell yourself. You know what I mean? Because
you can.
There's human
someone's got a hard line though at the state.
Yeah, exactly. But and you can at the state you can look up there's jobs and you know, pay the salary of your coworkers.
Yeah, you can. That's right.
But the human resources, they're going to try to get you at a value price.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's their job.
And think about this, an accountant, right? You see how that 311 was like 34? An accountant starts out at 49. Being an accountant. Most of the accountants in the private would probably make way more than that. But I mean, I guess working for the city, you work for the city making over, $50,000 or better. I mean, that's probably, probably not the same as working for like a private company or something making more. And it's probably laid back too, a little bit more laid back maybe.
When you research this stuff on, online, they'll tell you $50,000 is average. If you're making below that, you gotta look at that, you know what I mean? It's like, well, how do I get there? You know what I mean? If you're making over that, it's like, well, how are these people surviving? Yeah. You just gotta, and it's really hard when you're below. It is. Figuring out what you gotta do to get there.
You gotta be creative.
I know
gotta be creative in your thinking. You gotta be super creative.
Yeah, and you just wanna work. And I understand you want to work, you go to work, and you just want a fair wage. Yeah. You know what I mean? You go to school, but they're not offering you the money. You just gotta.
Cause you think about that, get it, you $800 some left over, and if you got a family, right? You got a wife, 2 kids. Like, let's go to Larry's. You go to Larry's, you go to checkout. That'd be $49. Just round up to $50 for everybody to eat. The thing is, it feel good when you're eating it, but guess what? You go there at 5 o'clock, probably by 10 or 11, everybody hungry again.
And you just spent $50.
You just spent $50.
And that was one meal, for 1 hour.
That's not a justified cost. When you're at a certain salary range, that's not a justified cost.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? And it's sad like that. You kind of make business decisions on like a Sunday dinner, and it's $50. Yeah. And the other guy spent that on breakfast.
Happy Meals.
You can be, oh God.
It's 10. Is it $5 or $6 for a Happy Meal now? Yeah. It used to be $3 or $4 for a Happy Meal. Yeah, everything's going up, but it seems like everything's going up but salaries. Yeah,
for certain people, certain people, you can see them on the internet, or you can talk to them. They're getting raises, they're getting jobs. These are people working at home, but you're sitting there and you haven't had a raise in 8 years, 4 years and things like that.
And you have to remember.
How do you get on the other side of that?
Right, and then you have to remember we live in Little Rock.
Yeah.
And then you got the minority race that you're running.
Yes.
On top of that, so you putting more weights on the sled that you got to pull when you don't want to get education,
Sometimes
you don't want to get a skill set.
Struggle.
And then, so now you got 3 weights. You don't have the education, you don't have the skill set. Now you got the minority weight.
Yeah.
So now you putting 3 weights. You just don't want to give yourself extra weight to pull. If you can eliminate that, that's what I would say.
And then how are you supposed to get a husband or a wife? Like, you know what I mean? You don't have time or resources to date properly. You don't really need to be focusing on relationships. So, you're basically, sometimes your whole life could be stalled.
And we talking from experience, cause
like that.
I mean, we didn't have that much money. We was like car salesmen, man. We didn't have that much money when we was in our 20s like that. We just made it happen.
And you know what I mean?
And if we would have got in trouble.
Where, women are expecting $200 dates.
Man.
And you know what I mean? That's just one day of out of the month.
Man.
You know what I mean? And
you know what? I told her, I think I probably messed it up, but a girl asked me one time she wanted to go to Red Lobster. I was like, you don't even eat Red Lobster. Like, do you even know what's on the menu at Red Lobster? Never ate a crawfish in your life. Never ate, don't even know what a crab cake is, but you want me to take you to Red Lobster though. And then buy you something and say, I don't eat this. I don't eat crab cake. So I just spent I guess back then I just spent $34 for you to just sit there and play with your food on the fork and talk to you. When I could have took you to Waffle House for that. You know what I'm saying? Got you the Grand Slam.
All-Star.
Yeah, the All-Star. Yeah, I could have got you the All-Star. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I can't even imagine the expectations in dating now. I just can't even imagine, bro.
Because people want what they see. You know what I mean? He makes $2 an hour. You know what I mean?
Not gonna happen. Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
And he wants you. He wants you to take him on a date.
Boy.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
And he's telling you what he wants.
Right. That's true.
He wants the new Jordans.
Boy.
Can you afford to buy me the new Jordans? Like, you know what I mean? I'm a king. I make $2 an hour. You know what I mean?
Boy.
What can you do for me? What are you bringing to the table?
Exactly. So yeah, man, you got to have that determination, man. You got to have that judgment call, because a lot of times people say, you're taught not to do it. It's the weirdest thing, but you have to do it. You have to judge perception. You have to judge distance. Driving a car around town is just a day full of judgment, driving a car. Because you're on a freeway, you're judging distance between you and cars. Driving on a regular street, you're judging stop signs and who's driving, making a turn, left-hand turn. You can tell a person that's probably not as good as that, because they always have a dent where you turn it.
Yeah.
So that means they're probably not that good at judging perception, because they always get nicked on the back side, left side of their car. So that means they're not good at making right-hand turn, because they always get nicked right there on that back side of the car.
People say judgment, discernment, making choices where you want to put yourself.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? Risk management.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Use judgment for things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So it's not always maybe a social or moral thing, or opinion thing.
Right.
Where you want to be, you know what I mean? Who you let in your life. Are you a good judge of character?
Boy, that's for real.
You know what I mean? Do you have temporary people in permanent positions?
Boy.
You know what I mean? So you gotta work that out.
And then you gotta be able to say no. Everybody make mistakes. We know that. It's just part of life. And it's like, is this person, did they learn from the mistake? Or are they habitual? They just keep doing the same thing over and over and over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so and they have, like, it's okay to be burned by someone, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, you're gonna get burned by someone, yeah.
Give them a second chance, get burned twice, but then use your judgment. How many times are you gonna get burned?
First time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can go by that, 3 strikes you're out, but you need to set up some boundaries. boundaries.
Yes, definitely set boundaries. There's nothing wrong with
You
setting
can't have
boundaries.
the infinite strikes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So you need to set them up, and that's your responsibility to do so.
Definitely.
The user is going to use you.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? You can't fault the mosquito for sucking your blood.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Right.
Like
those people would like say, you think about like David Koresh, right? Like if you don't have judgment skills, you can just run into a dude like that in the grocery store. And you talking to him in line while he's checking out. Next thing you know, you in a coat.
Yeah.
Just like that.
You didn't have a plan, so you followed his. Sounds like a good idea.
Now you in Waco. Locked in the house. Oh, man, it can happen just like that, man. No problem. Going to the wrong area, you know you ain't supposed to be there. It sounds crazy, like it is a free country. It is a free country, but it's also...
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, the country's free. Freedom of speech, that's free too.
Yeah.
But you're not free of consequences.
Exactly.
You make bad decisions.
And that's what I was saying about the Constitution.
It comes with stuff.
It says it has freedom of speech, but it do not say you absolve from consequences.
You can wear what you want to wear the colors you want to wear.
Boy.
I don't think you should wear them in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
I think you should watch your tone sometimes when you talk to certain people.
Oh,
you know what I mean? But you're free.
Yeah.
Speak your mind.
But definitely learn how to determine your judgments and stuff like that. Moving right along to our next question. Is critiquing a good or bad thing, or is it based on perspective?
Well, you know, some people don't want to hear anything. You know what I mean?
They just think everything they do is just grand.
Great,
it's awesome.
And if you're not positive, if you're not saying, hey, you can do it, if it's not motivational,
right.
if you're not encouraging them, it's negative.
Right.
You know what I mean? But what if we tested children like that? Spelling tests. You know what I mean? Or we tested we measured our doctors like that.
Right.
Only positive stuff. Yeah, you didn't get that right, doc, but hey, you keep doing, you can try again next time. You
They're kind of doing that now, though.
You know what I mean? You gotta say, hey, this is what you did was clearly wrong, and you your perception of these things were false. You know what I mean? So
when we talking about critiquing, is it good or bad? I know for me, going to school, like taking these graphic design classes and stuff, and art classes, man, they critique you on everything you do. Like, you got to get used to it. You can't take it as a negative. It's part of life. And people don't realize, if you can't critique yourself, what do you expect when you walk out the house? You're going to get critiqued on some kind of scale, whether you want to or not. You know, you want to play basketball, you're going to get critiqued. Are you good or bad? Any kind of sport, lacrosse, tennis, you're going to get critiqued. What do you think a top 5 is? What do you think a top 25 is?
It's, you know,
that's a critique.
It's ratings, you know what I mean? Why am I not number one? Some things, people say, well, it's a gray area. Some things are black and white. The speed limit is what the speed limit is.
Yeah.
You were going too fast.
Yeah.
You need to do certain things to stay below the speed limit.
That's true. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about, people want to do dating like when we was younger, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get critiqued. Guys, girls, whoever. Alien, turtle, whoever.
People can't hear negativity or things that don't go along with their way of thinking.
Yeah.
That's why people don't have successful relationships. In your own bubble, in your own world, you don't have to critique yourself. You don't have to improve. You don't have to do. But when you start doing other things
reality
with other people,
yeah, you
don't work a job by yourself.
No.
You're not in a relationship by yourself. You don't parent by yourself.
Sometimes people do.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. You gotta really. Your parenting is up. Will be critiqued as well.
I mean, what I'm saying, like, with like the elements of like, say you think, people get in a date and they say, I just look so good. You think that, but does everybody else think that? Just because you post something or, you posting at an angle, you think that looks good, and then you get trolled by people and say, nah, they don't look good. That's bottom 25, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then you shut down your page and everybody's a hater, nobody's loves you.
But you had the expectation that you was going to get all the likes and it was going to be good.
Yeah, because you was going to take them good ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Then the bad was...
But dating will break you down like the NFL draft. It will. All your measurables, everything that can be measured. Some dudes probably don't, but I'm saying most dudes, they don't even know that they do it, but they break you down like
women too, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Is he in shape? What kind of money does he
Yes.
Or,
it's unisex. It's both sides of the fence. Yeah. You're going to get critiqued.
Yeah, sexual.
Are you tall? Are you short?
DNA, genetics, you know what I mean? Parenting skills.
Yeah.
You can't think that you're a 10 on every level.
Some people are unrealistic, man, yeah. You definitely gonna get critiqued. It's all about how you look at it. Some people just can't take critique at all. They just think you being negative, you judging them.
Yeah,
and sometimes everybody can make improvement on something.
Like, look at this. Like, by definition, like, what is, critiquing or being critiqued? What does that look like?
Right.
Do you feel like it's a personal attack?
Yeah, some people do. I don't feel like it's a personal attack. I just think sometimes...
the truth is the truth, right?
Right. And it's just like, you can be from Southwest and have an idea about something, and it may not fit the Southwest mold, rather. But you could go somewhere else and be like, man, you're brilliant.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? It's not a negative thing because you was in Southwest. Like, Bill Gates can come up with Microsoft living in Southwest, bro. Like, he wouldn't get the support. People be looking like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Doing what with a computer? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you go to say, Tacoma, Washington, or wherever he's from, oh, he's a genius. He's brilliant. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure people critiqued him when he was making that.
Exactly. Him, nobody was like running to jump on the bandwagon at first.
No.
You know what I mean? Even with Bezos and his garage, his book delivery little company.
Yeah, even with Zuckerberg, we were talking about he stole somebody's stuff. Mm-hmm. He did this and did that. Critiqued him. He did this and did that. But guess what? He's still a billionaire. With your critiques, good and bad, he's still a billionaire.
You take the good and the bad and the money.
Yeah, definitely. So don't feel like just because you're being critiqued, it's a personal attack, because that's not always the case. That comes to judgment and perspective too, though. That comes to judgment, right? You gotta have objective judgment skills to know if somebody's trying to attack you or somebody's just critiquing you. Sometimes somebody may attack you, but it's all about how you react to it, perspective, right? Because sometimes you can't fight people's insecurity.
No, of course.
Sometimes you can be good at something, that person's not good at it, and because of their insecurity, they'll come at you. And like I said, I made it in my mind, I'm not fit to fight somebody else's insecurity, you know what I'm saying?
Or try to predict or tiptoe around their insecurities. You know what I mean?
And I don't even know what your insecurity is. But you coming at me, it's like weird stuff, some dudes, he's not, good at something, but every time you do it, it's a problem, you know what I'm saying? Why he always get picked for that? He's good at
Results,
it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why they can't pick me?
Why is he the starter?
Yeah, because he's good. But I'm pretty sure, like say, Michael Jordan probably challenged somebody's insecurity without even trying, because he executed.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's different between one person and the next, the execution.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You have all the planning, the physical stature. Like, well, you 6'5", Michael Jordan 6'5". You know what I mean? Well, it's a difference.
Yep. Total difference. So yeah, man, don't get caught up in being critiqued. Like I say, being in art, these art classes and stuff. The teacher, the really good art teachers who they really artsy, they went down the rabbit hole of art. You come in there with your intro to art and make your stuff, and then they come in there and break you down like your lines are not straight enough. I see the little jagged edge, and it's not quite a 90 degree. It's like a little curve right there, or you have to take that with a grain of salt. No problem.
Especially as a professional.
Yeah.
You're being graded, and
Yeah.
they want a specific thing. They're paying for it.
Right. Exactly.
And if you can take small steps in your personal life, it will help you in your professional life. When it comes to things like that.
Right. But yeah, don't allow critiques to throw you off. Don't allow critiques to put you in a bad place, because it's part of life. How do you know if you're doing good if nobody never tell you, you need to work on this? You always think you're doing good. You always feel like you're doing everything right. But if you never have somebody say, well, you can work on this, you know what I'm saying, you'll go around with being unrealistic, thinking, nobody never critiqued me, so I must be doing being perfect. And that's not reality, you know what I'm saying? The next subsection of this podcast is realistic and unrealistic expectations. I think humans just struggle with this in general.
Yeah, I mean, that's what anger is. You know what I mean? Your reaction to an unmet expectation.
Most people, they'll try to doubt you. They probably wouldn't even say it. They probably don't even think about it from that angle.
I'm just mad. That's what it is. You know what I mean? But it's something that caused, your madness.
Or if you ask them, what's your expectation of doing this? And they think, why are you judging me?
And I realized something that was very strange to me. People will be upset at the outcome or an expectation, and didn't really have an expectation. What is your expectation? What do you think is gonna happen, man? Well, I don't know. And then something happens. Man, I don't like that. You didn't.
You think they don't want to answer it though because they don't want to?
Sometimes they really just didn't. The forethought, you didn't. Yeah. They really had no forethought.
So how did they get mad then?
Because exactly. I don't know. It was it could be one of 10 things.
Right.
Which one do you want?
It's like when I go to McDonald's. If you don't expect them to give you a burnt apple pie, you'll probably be mad.
No. See, you're expecting an apple pie.
No, I'm saying it could be 50-50. I'm expecting 50-50.
Yeah, I know, but you at least expect an apple pie. I know people go to McDonald's, give me whatever y'all have, and then they get some. I don't like filet of fish. You didn't say an order,
right?
And you get what you get,
right?
And then now you mad.
Exactly.
You didn't plan. You didn't order, you didn't make arrangements, and then something happened. The outcome happened.
Oh, I know what to do.
Upset.
Keep talking.
And that was really giving me sometimes about expectations.
Right.
You don't really have one, but you're upset about what you get.
So, unrealistic expectation, right? Somebody go to a college. Let's go undergraduate program. And let's say you get a degree in general studies. General studies degree, right? Is that an associate's or is that a bachelor? Let's see. That is an associate, right? Career opportunities. Administrative assistant, computer support specialist, customer service representative. If you expect anything outside of this, that's unrealistic. You can't get a degree like this and say, well, I'm going to be a head accountant. That don't make sense. But you said somebody would go get this degree.
I did what I was supposed to do. I went and got my education.
Yeah, you did, but you're not being realistic with that because you got a general studies degree and an associate general studies degree. Let's look at some of the bachelors. Some people get a degree. It's undergrad, right? No, it's program. Yeah, it's undergrad program. Management. Woo. So, employees relation manager, human resource manager specialist, logistics and supply chain manager, management analyst and operation manager. Some of these might make good money. Some of them might not. Once again, we live in Little Rock. Do you have realistic expectations?
And a long time, a lot of times, some of these jobs, people get in those careers, you know what I mean? They stay in there for 40 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
real deal. And they ain't getting out until they retire, if they retire.
Exactly, and they human resources.
But if you look these positions up, do they pay? And if
that's the next step of expectations, you know what I mean? Or managing your expectations. And managing comes from you're determining to realize is it realistic or unrealistic.
Another unrealistic expectation: everybody's gonna like me.
Oh yeah. People sometimes people don't like you for no reason, and then sometimes people get reasons.
No reason. Why you don't like him for? Man, I just don't like him.
Yeah, people usually don't like me for a reason, very specific. You know what I mean? And then they like it. Don't like me because I don't care. They don't like me.
Yeah,
that will get you.
I'm nonchalant.
Liked. Yeah, I don't like you.
Okay.
I really hate him now.
Okay. Everybody don't like cream soda. Everybody don't like A&W cream soda. That's a niche market. Yeah. That's how you gotta look at yourself. You're a niche market.
They still in business though.
Yeah. I'm not a Coke. Most people like Coke. 80% probably people like Coke. You know what I'm saying? It's the biggest selling item in the every gas station.
To me, describe the taste of Coke in the comments. Tell me what it tastes like.
Exactly.
Tell me what Coke tastes
like. Sweet black tar.
I drink it, you know what I mean? I like it, but what does it taste like?
I tell you what though, when it's
hot, like Coke. It tastes like Coke.
You been playing sandlot football all day, and it's like your mouth got that almost cotton kind of spit. Man, somebody give you a Coke, man, the best Coke you ever had in your life. Then you feel that tingle from the carpet. The best Coke you ever had in your life, man.
What kind of Coke would you take?
Huh?
What kind of Coke would you take?
Something like Coca-Cola in the can. Not the original formula. But yeah, man, expectations, man, is something crazy. Because like I say, some people, they go pick a degree like this. And you be like, man, why'd you get a degree? Like this, why'd you get a degree in art, right? You can't, graphic designers in Arkansas, probably not that great in pay. Let's look, hold on, let's look that up. I want to show you about expectations, right?
So he's saying a statement, but he was going to research it. You know what I mean? He's expecting graphic designers not to make that much. So he's going to look, and he's going to kind of prove it. You know what I mean? So in this head, he made a statement, and he had an expectation. But managing expectations with your education, your professional life, and your personal life. Those skills kind of go hand in hand. And
you see that? 39 to 54K, 34 to 48K, 27 to 61K. That is a big range. And when you get out of college, if you don't have the experience of working at a place, at a company, you're probably going to start out in that 27 to 39 range. That's realistic expectations. To say when I get out of college, I'm going to make 54 or the 61K, that's unrealistic expectation. You're not being realistic. Do you want to shoot for the stars? Totally fine with that. But is it realistic? You have to be honest with yourself. What's the percentage of me getting that? What's the chances of me getting that? So that's something to think about. Being realistic with your expectations. You go into these schools, you need to pick something that makes sense. And they got so many kind of degrees out here, but you got to see what makes sense. A lot of times, being from Southwest, a lot of these fields, a lot of people don't even really you don't even get exposed to. You kind of used to certain things. Working at big box retail stores, you probably seeing management, but who knows about, like say, real estate classes, right? People want to invest in real estate, but you don't even know what the aspects of real estate. Yeah. It's more than just buying a house and renting it out. It's more ways to eat a Reese's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You got to manage all expectations.
Right.
Because you think it's something easy or thinking you just going to be selling houses.
Just like this, what's this? Finance 3310, business finance. How many people know about business finance, right? It's a real estate. I took that class, Intro to Real Estate. Pretty cool class. What's the other one? like real estate valuation and appraisal. Like it's these kind of classes. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you could take these classes and it helps your entrepreneurship that much. Yeah. Instead of going to class for what's a class or a degree that you think that don't make sense. Let's see. I got it. This one right here. How many people really benefit out? How many people they got this degree and they're not really benefiting from it? Yeah. But it's probably one of the most taken degrees, criminal justice.
That's their interest. You know what I mean? And I don't hey, study something you're interested in.
But is it going to make...
But what is your expectation with that degree?
Yeah, but before you get interested in it, does it make sense to be interested in it? That's all I'm saying. Detailed thinking. Before you get to the interest, before that, does it make sense? Can I take care of my family with my interests? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a good one. But they watch CSI. You know what I mean? They were always wanted to be in some form of law. They're curious about the criminal mind.
Most people, if you're from the hood or Southwest, you don't even want to be around law enforcement. But you get a criminal justice degree, which is insane. Like I'm saying, that's the expectation, being realistic with expectation.
People with criminal justice degrees. I mean, he's not attacking you.
I'm not. No, I'm not attacking. I'm just it's realistic expectations, right? It's saying you be corporate security, a correctional counselor, federal law enforcement officer, game warden, U.S. Park Service, juvenile justice specialist. What do you think the max salary is for either one of those jobs? And I'm not attacking you. I'm just trying to tell you how realistic
it's gotta be one out of 5. It's got to be 6 figures.
And then, like say, federal law enforcement. How many people do we know that works for the feds?
But then it's like, man,
just to get into the federal building downtown is not easy to get a job there. From what I heard, the streets talk.
And
I'm talking about the low-paying jobs. It's hard to get in.
And another thing too, like, is it education after this? You know what I mean, with the federal law enforcement, and that's really broad.
Yeah, it is very broad.
We're not talking about Quantico and the FBI, right? No. You know what I mean. So that's
Okay, here's another one.
Dang, this only got 2.
Gender studies. I mean, what do you do?
God,
Women's victims advocate, women's health clinic coordinator.
That just 2 jobs, and then one of them sound like the other job.
Like, why would you? I mean, I get the topic, but how does that relate to dollars? Like, how does that relate to taking care of your family? You know what I'm saying?
You follow your passion, right?
But is your passion get you paid? See, that's that stuff you listen to on social media. Follow your passion. Oh, do what you're good at. Do what you. Just because you're good at it, is it beneficial for you to do that?
Well, you got to find a way to get paid for what you're good at or what.
But you just said follow your passion.
Yeah, I mean, you got to find
your passion might not get you paid.
Yeah, that's the object. That's the thing they leave out that you got to.
Yeah, that's right. You got to be realistic. That comes to judgment
and expectations. You think I love this? Somebody's gonna pay me to do it. You know what I mean? And figuring out how to get paid.
And you may get paid, but not that much.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, they may pay you, but not that much. It's like this history,
and I thought
right?
Victim advocate was a volunteer position.
This right, history, a bachelor's degree in history, educator, legal professional, a museum curator, researcher, and an analyst. You probably be lucky.
You got a potential.
You lucky if you get past 40. You lucky if you get past 40. In Little Rock, history, you lucky if you get past 40.
You can work at the
Little Rock. You probably gonna have to get a master's, man. And you gotta get something smart in that.
Well, you just gotta manage those expectations if you are like a history buff with your location, the price of education, and what you're going to get in return. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we just saying being realistic. I just wanted to show you that. Be realistic about education and anything you do in life. Just be realistic. You know, don't discount yourself by being unrealistic. Because sometimes being unrealistic can put you in some situations you don't want to be in because you want to be realistic.
Yeah, and then with those expectations, when they're going to be unmet, and that's going to lead to anger. And then you're going to be an angry person. And then you're angry at yourself.
Well, before you get angry, could you think your way through it? That's where the critique come in. And it's like, why did I not get the desired result that I was trying to get?
Exactly.
Right.
So, we working backwards, but
right.
These are the things.
Sometimes you got to work backwards.
Yeah, I mean, when you don't critique yourself,
right.
You don't manage your expectations.
Right.
What is the next step? Because your life isn't over.
Right. It's not.
With an unmet expectation.
It's not. Yeah, definitely.
Or unrealistic sense of self, or those expectations.
For sure.
But what is the next step?
Exactly.
What's causing me to be in these situations repeatedly?
For sure. This is probably a question that a lot of people really think about. I had to think about this myself. I had to go in and recode some stuff up in my brain. So this question is, what is your expectation factor from? Like, some people watch movies.
Yeah,
they factor expectations. Like, you watch mafia movies, you watch The Untouchables, you think that's how it is. And it may not even be even close. It's based on a true story. It's not a true story. It's based on a true story.
Internet personalities or your own personal history.
Yeah,
your mother and father. The athletes on TV. Well, you know what I mean? I'm going to go to high school, play football, you know what I mean? Go to my favorite college, you know what I mean? Then go to the NFL, you know what I mean? Well, you're 5'2.5".
Boy.
You know what I mean? Your max weight in high school was 150 pounds.
Right.
And that's when you were working out. So you're comparing yourself to something.
Scarface, right? Scarface.
Robbing a bank, right? Or you watch
Scarface, being a kingpin.
Yeah.
Dude watch the movie Scarface, Paid in Full, all that, but they never watch the whole, like they just see certain points in the movie, but you never the whole movie. You don't see Rich getting killed at the end. Yeah. You don't see the robberies and stuff like that. You just see them on top, riding in the side, with all the money and stuff like that. It's like people pick and choose what they want to see and what they want to take in.
And there's their expectation for their life. You know what I mean? We're gonna get like Heat. We're gonna get in a shootout with cops, and we're gonna make it out with the money because I'm smarter than these fictional characters.
Yeah, he didn't see Heat when he tried to run to Lincoln. Everybody not gonna make it. Everybody not gonna. Somebody go get caught or go slip up. Cause you remember that dude got separated from him, the big dude on Heat.
Yeah.
And he tried to grab the kid, but he got separated. Yep. And that's the break they needed. He got separated. Everybody else kind of got away. But the black dude, I forgot his name, in the Allstate commercial, drove to Lincoln. He didn't make it. He didn't even make it past phase 1.
Boy.
And that's how it works, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta.
And his expectation was to get away with the money, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, the getaway driver.
Yeah, he
didn't pull a gun. Yep. He didn't pull a gun on nobody. He just sat and drove the car. So people just, think about like say, rap videos.
Yeah.
Like
social media influencers.
Social media, yeah. You think this person's rich, but they really broke. It's just what you see on camera.
Yeah.
You see the Bugatti, but he really taking it back to the rental place, but he recording while he on the way back, riding in the, it's crazy, man.
And you can see those expectations not being met. You watch First 48.
Oh, yeah.
When they sit in that room.
Boy.
That's not what they thought it was going to be.
No.
It's not it's not that easy keeping it real. Keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah. So it's hard to keep it real, boy. You look 25 to life on the table, man.
Yeah. They got you.
Boy, be seeing
you can't call your mama.
Been that scene at was it Al B. Sure at Night and Day? Let me tell you. Being that singing, boy.
Boy.
And so what factors into some of your expectations? Come and let us know. What factored into some of your expectations? Because sometimes,
how do you
subconsciously you don't even realize what you're taking in.
Yeah.
But that's what you watch all the time, You think about these reality shows. Some people take that into, and they factor that into their expectations. Think you're supposed to just argue with everybody you talk to, like the Housewives or something like that.
Yeah, love and hip hop and all that.
Stuff,
everybody got to be.
I don't even watch this stuff. Yeah, the commercials are too much for me. I can't even handle the commercials, man. I know they talking crazy in the real stuff. But some people like that, and then you know you watch it so much, you start taking on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it starts to adjust your expectations of life, your expectations of your relationships, your expectations of the people.
Mm-hmm.
What you should have, the money you should have, the people and your friends you should be around, the expectation of the clothes you wear.
Right.
Molded by what you see on TV,
right.
or maybe what happened in your past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
here's a question I got for you. Can a person adjust or change expectations based on previous results?
Well, they should, and you can. You know what I mean? How many times can you do the same thing and expect the same result?
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So they should, like, well, man, I keep trying to go to school, but I skip every day, and I can.
Don't judge me.
So maybe I should go more. You know what I mean? Maybe I wouldn't get fired.
Right.
If I show up to work on time, maybe.
Yeah, just think about just at a job, right? You know, you got somebody that micromanage you. You have to figure out. It's almost like a chess game. Like, how do I counter-think the previous result of him micromanaging me? You know, if I get up and go to the bathroom every hour, because there's people used to do this when I used to work at this small company. It was people that you can almost you can tell every hour at every 10 minutes 15, on the hour, you know what I'm saying? They'll go to the bathroom, you know what I'm saying? They don't even realize they doing it. They just like a pattern though. But sometimes you got to change your pattern because you don't want to be predictable. That's how you beat a person that, you know, that want to micromanage you. You have to be unpredictable. Then they're like, you know what, man, just leave that dude alone. I don't even know what he got going on. Just leave him alone. Or
beat him to the punch, you know what I mean? Right. Whatever your strategy is, like, man, I know Mike gonna ask for this report, and I email, like, as soon as he get up, I boom, email, bing. All right, well, John, send the report. No, don't do me.
Exactly. Even like, say you make a mistake, it's like, what led up to me making that mistake? That's when you have to be honest with yourself. Sometimes people don't want to be honest with themselves. Like, I didn't do nothing wrong. It just happened. We all make mistakes, but they never look at what part they played in it. You know what I'm saying? And
it just happened multiple times. Yeah. Or do I like being a victim?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe I should, because lock my doors.
You that's what a girl. She bust your windows out. You know, because you selling dreams. I mean, are you the victim?
Yeah.
Or are you the perpetrator?
Yeah.
Or are you both? That's a riddle, ain't it? That's a riddle for you right there.
You didn't bust your own windows out?
Huh?
You didn't bust your own windows out. She did that.
But based on previous results, but most girls, you kind of know that. You get the rundown, like, she probably will do that.
Yeah.
You know, you got the results, but for some reason...
You got the scouting report.
Yeah. But for some reason, you still run the game plan as usual.
Yeah, let's blitz.
And then you wonder why your windows busted out.
Man, she rolled out.
Are you a victim or are you the perpetrator?
Well, each action.
Well, legally, you're probably the victim because she ruined your property.
Yeah. But you mess around, you will find out.
Yeah, you will find out. But yeah, that's the riddle for you right there. Are you the perpetrator or are you the victim?
Yeah, or who? Like, you could be the victim and the killer in your own story. You're feeding the monster.
It just depends on the circumstances.
Little shop of horror. You know what I mean? That little plant couldn't get out that little, pot?
Yeah.
He made it, and he kept making the problem bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that's true.
It was his biggest problem, but he was feeding it.
Boy, feed me.
You know what I mean? Well, they told me to. Well,
exactly. All right. Our next question. This probably be our last section. This probably will be our last section. Expectations for yourself versus expectations for another person. I think this one's a little tricky because sometimes a lot of people, instead of looking at themselves, they look at the other person. Everything's the other person's fault. It's not. They have no part in it whatsoever. It's always the other person. Instead of saying, you know what, I did play a part in this. I had I danced on the floor too, and we both slipped and fell. It wasn't just the other person. You think about like, those pyramid schemes and like, people like the end run scams and stuff like that. You be thinking like, this person got over on me, so you expect, total judgment on them. But you never think about like, you didn't do your due diligence. You just fell for the okie doke because you wanted to be greedy. He said he can get you a 200% return. It don't even make sense. But for some reason you believed it. Or the African prince. I need to launder some money, man. So I got like $1 million, but if you give me 10,000, I give.
They can free up my other money.
Yeah, to free up my other money, I give you 200 grand back. Like that's not even a real deal. That don't even sound right. But sometimes people believe in that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then like this can happen. Your expectations of other people versus you in relationships, personal life.
Oh yeah.
And at work, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had a coworker. Every time, let's say, she works upstairs.
Right.
Them people downstairs, they don't never do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They lazy. All the work come upstairs.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they put it all on me. And then when she works downstairs, them people upstairs don't be doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I gotta do everything. It's easy up there.
Yeah.
Well, you was just up there and you said that, like,
right. Yeah.
Wherever she is, the fault is in the other place.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, relationship-wise, this person's supposed to spoil me, cater to me, be understanding, accept that I'm not perfect.
Right. Is that realistic?
Did you cater to them?
Right, exactly.
Did you understand them and their flaws?
That goes for both sides.
So you expecting these things from a whole nother human being.
Right, exactly.
But you are not giving them these things.
And before you point the finger at the other person, what adjustments can you make? A lot of times, if you make the adjustment, things start changing too. Instead of just expecting the other person to just do all the changing.
Or read your mind.
Right.
Have you expressed these expectations?
Right.
Hey, this is what I expect from you. This is what I'm doing, my actions, and this is what I'm expecting. Communication.
Somebody say, "Hey man, what you want to drink? Man, just grab me some." He'll grab a V8 tomato juice. Here you go. And then, man, why you give me that for? Dude, you said you just wanted something. I just grabbed you something. I thought you liked it.
Man, but you know.
I can't read your mind.
No, I don't know. I asked you.
I did.
I clearly asked you, hey, I'm going in the kitchen. What do you want?
Right.
You said just grab me something.
Yeah.
And then they get with the friend. I asked, I wanted him to grab me something good.
How do I know
that still ain't specific.
Right. That's broad.
You know what I mean? So something good. Yeah. Well, V8 juice is good for you.
It is great for you. Great vitamin B12. All your essential nutrients.
That's all essential nutrients. I tell you what.
Exactly.
So and then that's.
And here's another one, right? People think that everybody's supposed to do good by them. They won't try to take advantage of you. Wrong.
The shark gonna bite you.
Yeah, exactly. They come in all shapes, forms, and sizes.
You in the water.
Yeah. Anytime you go out the house, you swimming in the water with sharks, dolphins, whatever, killer whales. Like people think panda bears are cute. It's a bear. It'll kill you. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what
you got the wrong expectation.
And even sometimes in your house, but it's understandable. That's your house. That's your supposed to be your safe space. But sometimes that's not the case. You know what I mean?
And see, here's the question though. What is it about you that a person think they can take advantage of you? That's the person. That's what you got to think about.
That's some accountability. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't really ever want to victim blame.
No, I'm not victim blaming.
I'm just gonna put that disclaimer out there. Nobody has the right to take advantage of you.
Right.
Nobody. You know what I mean?
They don't.
Impose violence upon you.
But that don't mean they won't try it.
They will, and sometimes you gotta. Hey, how can what steps can I take to protect myself?
Right.
You know what I mean? And that, that's
legally.
That's the world we live in. You
Right.
got to think about that. You know what I mean? If they catch you out there, slipping,
right,
they're going to try to capitalize on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's not just in the streets, corporately.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like say we talking about HR. Some HR, they don't tell you how much the salary is.
Yeah, if they have a chance to lowball you, that affects their profit. Like, they can save $20,000 a year by not paying you.
Yeah. And that's the expectation.
If you didn't ask
for another person,
they save that money on you.
Right. You can't expect them to give you the best.
I want to go in the job and they see my qualifications, be fair, and pay me the best wage that they can.
Right.
Is that the world we live in?
No.
No, it's not.
You don't can get what you can negotiate.
And I hate it. You know what I mean?
You only get what you negotiate.
Yeah, and we got to go in there and fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, real deal.
And you would do the same thing if you were a company, even in a relationship. You know what I mean? If your spouse, girlfriend, or like, hey, offered you, hey, do you ever want to wash dishes in this relationship? And they gave you a choice, you probably, I don't want to wash dishes. You know what I mean? Ever. Or clean the bathroom? No, I don't want to clean the bathroom. You know that that's wrong.
Right.
You got a spouse or a mate, and they're going to wash all the dishes every time 100%. And they're going to clean the bathroom 100%. But if you had the opportunity to do that, you would do it. Even though it's not fair. Though.
Here's the part, right? What if they won't admit that it's wrong?
They
say that's based on your perspective. What if they tell you that that's based on your perspective?
Yeah. And
they say, what are you basing that off of that is wrong?
Fairness. That person's supposed to be your partner.
Well,
and you not. No, I mean, no. That's what I'm saying. That's why HR is doesn't have a problem.
Right.
Shorting you $20,000.
Exactly.
Because you don't have a problem, probably.
Yeah.
If your spouse said they would do all the chores. Oh, okay.
But here's the thing too, like, however somebody said that it's like, this is the best way I'm gonna put it, right? Man, woman, right? Menu. Woman X wants this on man Y menu. Just keep adding stuff. I want this. Why you don't have this? Can you add this to the menu? But then, other person asks, well, I want this. Now, wait a minute. No.
The menu is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like this, or the dude could do that to the girl. It could be either way. That's being unrealistic.
That's today's special. I don't adjust my menu for you.
Exactly.
We got a 1, 2, and a 3. You can't add 4, 5, and 6. We don't cook filet mignon. We don't do that.
Right. That's
we not gonna try.
Right.
That's not on the menu.
Right.
Grilled cheese not on the menu.
Right.
We got oatmeal. We got a fruit cup. We got Salisbury steak. We got apple pie.
But I want you to add so much more stuff to your menu.
You know what I mean?
I want the Rooty Tooty Fresh and Fruity.
Well, that's not on the menu.
I want all of it.
Well, can you try to make it?
I want the strawberry French toast.
You got some bread back there. You can make it. No, it's not on my menu.
But that's a relationship. You just as much as you want on somebody else's menu, you got to have equal or better on your menu. Is that realistic?
That's fair.
Is it realistic? You think it's fair?
I mean, it's just fair. That's where you should go. They sound good.
Sound great.
They're great. That's how it should be.
Come and let us know what you think about that. You want another person to improve their menu. What about your menu? What's on your menu that you offer?
Because your needs and wants are always growing, right?
Right.
And you want that person you're dealing with to adjust.
And that's what I'm saying, right?
To adjust and to fulfill those needs.
Before you go and want to modify somebody else's menu, are you modifying your menu as well?
Are you,
that makes sense?
yes, you know what I mean? Are you increasing the things you give?
Before you go and ask, are you increasing? Or you just want everybody else to increase?
No, they satisfied with me for what I am, for what I get. My menu is my
menu. And did you ask them that, or that's what you think? See, that's another thing too, get on risk. Did you ask that? Or sometimes people don't even have those conversations, like, you know.
Well, he seemed like,
because if you ask, if you say, what do you want me to do? Oh, yeah, can you do this, this, and this? Why I asked them that for? But then they also say, I don't want you to assume at the same time.
Yeah.
It's almost like you got to be a lawyer sometimes. You know what I'm saying? With people, you got, and it's like, well, you know, and it's like, man, I shouldn't even ask that.
Exactly. Now, that's like your next
expectation
point.
change.
Most people, if you have real high expectations, expect things from you.
Right.
But they want to give out the same effort that they gave out. And relationships, school, work, you still giving it, like, we in year 12. We're seniors. You still giving out first grade effort.
Right. I get it.
You started in kindergarten. You got to first grade. You progressed a little bit. You giving out that effort. But you're expecting that other person to give you on a senior level.
Right.
And it's just not a fair expectation to think that person producing and giving you at a 12 to stay,
right, and
still giving you at a 12 when you're giving them at a 1.
That's what happens at jobs. We was talking about inflation. We was talking about the market, knowing when to, make a move. You can go to a job and your menu can be great, and you producing, but the money's not going up.
Yeah.
You got a choice at that point. They either gonna renegotiate.
I don't think you have a choice, because you need to get gone.
Yeah, you need to hit that market.
Get gone.
Exactly, hit that market. Sometimes some jobs, but it depends on what race you in. It depends on what race you in. You in the minority race,
and
you probably ain't gonna happen.
And you gotta push the issue, because they not gonna bring it up.
Yeah, and sometimes when you bring it up, they get, and that's the expectation thing. They get disrespectful. Like, they think you ungrateful for bringing it up.
Yeah, I pay you every 2 weeks while I'm doing the job before people.
Yeah, exactly.
I train my manager.
And that's another expectation. Like, why would they keep asking you to keep stacking stuff on top? Because we don't want the person X don't want to lose their job, so they taking on extra stuff. And sometimes people know that, and they keep stacking stuff, try to get you to break, or they just keep stacking because they know you'll do it because you want to keep your job. Yep. Using your job as a carrot to dangle you, as the dangle the rat in front of the rabbit to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then
on the stick.
We're talking about you were barely surviving. You know what I mean? We got this minimum wage mentality, and I don't really mean minimum wage, but you were like below the cost of living. You know what I mean? Almost,
minimum wage probably below the cost of living now.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So people will say, well, you don't make minimum wage. You know what I mean? You make X amount of dollars over minimum wage. But can I go to Starbucks every day? Without, I have to budget that. You know what I mean?
You can, but you're going to give up something.
But I can't spare $10 a morning for breakfast. You know what I mean? Why can person B do that and I can't? And when I ask or try to figure out or need a raise or promotion or to level up my skills,
right,
I'm in the wrong. You know what I mean? For leaving the company that pays me in a 1.
Right.
Well, why it's okay for you to go there or spend this money for that and not me? No, don't put me in the box.
Yeah, it's called SECM. Skill set, education, communication, and mindset. That's why I can do that. That's why they tell you that. That's why you can do that. Yeah. Now, some things there are disparities. You depending on what race you in.
Yeah, or what they start off like. Well, you know what I mean. If their father gives them the money, but if there's nothing stopping me from getting the skill set or the education or things like that, why I'm gonna look down on for not being thankful for a job that doesn't a lot mean to get my favorite coffee drink. Right. I'm trying to, people say, hey, don't adjust your budget, make more money. I want that option.
I think this is the thing, you see somebody that's actually trying to do it, but somebody's saying it, but they're not trying to do nothing. They just like to complain, but they're not doing nothing though. I think that's the thing that just think about this, right? People that work, we've seen this, right? Some people work at the hospital, right? They never do any other programs or nothing like that. They just be environmental services from there on out. Never try to be a scrub tech, never really try any other skill but that. Just think about, working at a college, right? Mm-hmm. If you work at a college and you retire from the college and you never took any classes, not beating up anybody, I'm just saying, you can take one class a semester. If you beat up for 30 years, and you'll probably still have a master's degree. One class a semester for 30 years, you know what I'm saying? You probably have a PhD. And you just take one class a semester. You don't even got to take a full load. You're on campus already. You work there. But those kind of people that still complain and say they ain't paying me nothing. They don't want to pay nothing. And it's like, dude, you got an advantage that most people don't have. You work at a college. You're parking at the college. Yeah. So that's, you're probably paying for parking most of the time.
Each job has hidden benefits. Like
definitely.
And, tuition reimbursement or maybe something.
They let you go to class while you at work.
Maybe discount healthcare, you know what I mean? Or fitness center. You
try to discount area.
No, I mean.
You work at a good private company.
I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe, you trying to lose weight and they got a good fitness center. You know what I mean? And you gaining 30 pounds a year. Right? So when you do that, you're not you take advantage of your opportunities. Right. But it's
when you
just because somebody is not taking advantage of their opportunities doesn't mean they deserve to be treated unfairly. You know what I mean? They don't deserve to be mistreated. You know what I mean? We're not saying that. Hey, so what? You didn't level up and you have this job. Hey, you don't deserve to be taken advantage of.
But unfortunately, the world we live in.
Yes, but I mean,
if you don't do that, if you don't try it, you want to be comfortable. Guess what's going to happen? Yeah, you're gonna get taken advantage of.
Yeah, I mean, we're saying
I'm not saying
that's not right. I mean, we're saying
right.
We're not saying it's right.
The world is not right.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Some things aren't fair.
Yeah.
You deserve a livable wage. I want to affect change. You know what I mean? In everything, legislation, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, some things you gotta really kind of do for yourself.
Do something, not nothing, man. Gosh.
Slow motion is better than no motion.
What I would tell the kids that's coming out of high school right now is, but when you go work somewhere, make sure you're working towards something, not just working. Like, if you want to be a doctor, work in the medical field. Don't go work at Walmart. Go work at a hospital part-time. You want to be a pharmacist? Try to be a pharmacy tech. You know what I'm saying? Work your way to that.
Sometimes you got to volunteer for free if you can't get that job.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more acceptable when you younger. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And now you're getting experience and you going to school to be a pharmacist. You know what I'm saying?
And you people notice your hard work. Like, this dude is volunteering at this age. You know what I mean? Maybe at 40, 45, you know what I mean? You got bills. You can't be volunteering. You know what I mean? But but people notice things like that.
Because most people don't make their first million, so they like in their 40s, mid-40s. So that lets you know that, a lot of times you don't even hit your stride till like when you get around in your 40s.
Yeah, and then I think
about if you get on your career path early, you get out of school, you get done, with school by the time you're, 23, 24, you'll probably hit that by the time you're in your mid-30s. But a lot of times people don't really have that exposure to really know what they want to do.
And it's really focusing getting on track too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
People they go through this figure it out stage.
Right.
You know what I mean? And trial and error.
But if it's not pointing in the right direction,
you gotta know
figuring it out.
Course correct.
Exactly.
Course correct.
Because let's think about this. We was talking about earlier. You in the figure out mode, but you figuring out.
You
chasing girls. You figuring out how can I do this more efficiently, chasing girls, instead of thinking about your career.
Yes.
So now you focusing on that. So then when that roller coaster ride is over And now you're trying to get on your career. Now you realize, dang, I've been doing this for like 5 or 6 years. I should have been focused on my career.
And then, like, you know what I mean? Then you have that little regret. Well, I
don't think it's more regret.
No, I mean, well, I mean, you should. I'm sorry, you should regret like wasting 10 years of your life. I mean, I don't know.
See, at first, I looked at it as a waste, and I thought about what I did learn, like the communication part.
Yeah.
You know, selling a dream is not right to sell to sell a dream. Definitely not. Don't try that at home.
So I mean, just because you know.
But when you convert that over, now if I go into an interview, I can. I mean, I can sell ivory to an elephant if I need to. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? And I don't say it's a total waste, but you say, even you saying this could have been utilized more effectively.
Yeah, definitely.
So you know what I mean.
But I used to think it was a total waste. But I thought about like, wait a minute, the communication skills that I gained, even though it wasn't in the right direction, was pretty awesome because, like I say, you could talk to just about anybody, not just people that we grew up with.
Like some people fear public speaking, but when you can just get in a room full of new people and just do it. So you know what I mean. You gotta like I say, recognize those skills. You know when you have them. And, you know what I mean. Everything you can you do. You know you can learn from.
So yeah, we're gonna close out and say, man, realistic judgment, realistic expectations. Nobody's judging you by critiquing you or just giving you something that they learn from and telling you don't bump your head against the wall like I did. And you do have realistic expectations about you first and then about everybody else.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's pretty much what it boiled down to.
Exactly. When you speak of you know what I mean, expectations, what are you doing? What's your process?
Right.
You know what I mean? Are they realistic, unrealistic?
Yeah, for real. For real. And yeah, we're pretty ready to close out. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think about your expectations and your judgments and stuff like that. Do you think that's a deflection mechanism when somebody say don't judge me, or do you think they don't really understand, like, you have to use judgment in everything in your everyday life. Period.
It ain't judgment. Like, most people think it's like a moral thing. You know what I mean? This person deeming me bad.
No.
But your decisions will be judged and people will move accordingly. You know what I mean? You can do it. I don't have a bad opinion about you, but every choice has a consequence, result, or expectation.
And we talking from dudes who have made all kind of both sides of the fence, all kind of choices with consequences. So we're not saying it like we ain't never messed up. We telling you that we have messed up, and you have to take the consequences that come with it. Have the expectations that when you do something, it's gonna be something that come with it.
People might not want to be around you. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Professional or personal settings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
Yeah, that's true.
Now you don't want to go to work no more.
Right.
You gotta keep living. You know what I mean? And adjust your behaviors.
Boy. For real.
Adjust your expectations. You know what I mean? You feel like you can say anything to people, and they can't say anything to you. It don't work like that.
Yeah, it don't. Exactly.
So, exercise your best judgment. You know what I mean, and manage your expectations.
Yeah, man. We're ready to close out this thing, man. So, like the channel, subscribe on YouTube. Man, we appreciate all the viewers, all the support. We just repping Little Rock, some dudes from Southwest. And that's how we roll. They making tear the school down, but they can't take the line out of us, right?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So we signing out. Thanks for watching, and we are out.